Have you ever noticed how one person's words can have a lingering effect on you, right? Either your best friend telling you, hey man, you're doing great, you're killing it, you're crushing it. Or maybe it's your parents, beating down on you, being negative, telling you can't really do what you want to do, right? Um, well, sometimes those words, they stay with us and they can make us feel that in reality, we can't do everything we want to do. And today I want to talk about how my mom did that to me and how that affected me, right? So, three main points here is going to be, first off, how my mom affected my self-concept, right? How I look at myself. Secondly, I want to discuss what I learned about communication so far from this class, right? In the brief time that we've been in it, and about my self-concept from our textbook. And then finally, I'll explain how I began to rebuild that self-confidence, right? And why positive communication from people actually does matter a lot, right? A lot of people think, oh, well, I can just walk around and, hide behind a keyboard or, whatever, and tell people, yo, you ain't this, you ain't that. But you don't know how that person feels on the inside, right? So let's go back into it, right? So growing up, my mom's was very, 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 very abusive. It was not not a positive experience, not one I like to talk about, but here we are, right? It's the point of this class. Let's get uncomfortable. So oftentimes I would hear, hey, you're never going to be anything. You're a failure. You're the reason why X, Y, and Z is happening. Right? And so over time, I start believing these things. I'm like, yo, like, I really am just trash. Like, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to have anything going for me, right? And her words affected my confidence. Like, I was walking around believing that I was a speck in the dust. Like, I was just another failure. Off rip. Like, imagine, like, 8 years old, man. Like, tiny me. Not believing that I even matter, you know what I mean? And so, like, looking back on that time, it's made me realize, like, the stuff that you say to people, especially young, impressionable minds, they will literally shape their future. They will shape the way they even see the world. You know what I mean? And so moving on to our second point, right? That once those people actually find some sort of literature or start to learn more, like, it helps, right? And so when you actually learn what a self-concept is, right? Like in our textbook, it talks about how our self-concept develops through interactions, right? So with our interactions, a lot of the time, especially with people that are important to us, people we hold close, they will shape your identity. And that's why a lot of people say the saying, who your friends are is who you are, is because those connections that you make, they literally define who you are at the end of the day, right? Like, you're picking up on their habits, you're picking up on what they do, you're picking up how they act, right? And so all that goes into being your identity, right? And so at the end of the day, if those people are positive, right, and they're like, hey, they're hyping you up, like, yo, what's up, you're the best, da 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 da, they're gonna build you up, they're gonna hype you up, and you're going to be in a better place than if those people are negative, right? They're like, nah, man, we're just bums, we're never gonna be anything, like, there's no point even trying, right? Like, let's just scam, steal, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it really changes your outlook on life, right? And so even though I was in an all-time low, I found my people. I found my village, right? I found my friends, my people that I know still to this day. Like, I've met people when I was younger, and I still mess with them to this day, right? I'm in a whole other state across all of America, but those are still my guys. And they're the people that really hype me up and build me up. And so as I got older, I started rebuilding my confidence. So I met people, they would criticize me positively, right? Like, hey, you need to build this and then you'll be good. Or, hey, you need to do this and then you'll be good, right? That positive criticism versus just that straight negativity. And so that really shifted my whole mentality, right? I joined the military. I got my body right. I got my mental right, through a lot of mental resilience training that the Army has, right, I sought therapy. That helped a little bit, not as much as it should have, but hey, not for everyone, right? So it's one of those things where really choosing your environment will go tenfold, right? And so with that, I just want to conclude, basically your people will create your environment, right? And it will create your identity, and it will help shape who you are in the future and how you see the world in the future. Because reality is 80% perception and 20% the truth. So just remember that.